Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Friar Chuck here, and I am back with more Red Sox franchise. Last episode, we took care of the draft, took care of the trade deadline. It didn't save. Oh my goodness. Well, never mind all that then. All right, guess I don't know why that's the place it saved, but I guess we're going to the draft, and I'm not even going to talk about the trade that we made, so we'll just ignore that. To go back and look at what I did for the players I took, but I'm going to go in completely blind because I don't remember exactly. It was kind of unfortunate because we had moved into first place in the division. Um, I'm going to try and I think now we will probably try and get through the rest of the season pretty quickly. I think probably this episode and no, I didn't mean to stop simulating. That's not good for his development. That did stay the same. We did end up sweeping the sweeping the Rockies in that series. But yeah, we'd moved into first, either into first place or we were only like a game and a half back of the Yankees. So we'd done pretty well. I don't know what Garrett Crochet's numbers look like now. 13 and 3. Actually, he's doing better now than he was before. Whatever. Okay, so I'm trying to think of who. Pretty power numbers. Here and here. We ended up taking. Let me see if I can find him. He was an undrafted guy. This guy. We don't have him scouted much, but he, I believe, ended up being a pretty good player. It's kind of what I remember. Hoping this goes okay. I was pretty happy with the draft the first time we did it, but unfortunately it didn't save. So Russell Heller, Mr. Cartoon Villain himself with that mustache. They need to take that. They need to take that out of the game. It's too many rookies get it. Bryant Tompkins went number 2. Raul Diaz, who was the MLB projected number 1 pick or the number 1 player on the big board, he was 9th for us. So all 4 of our guys are on the board still. And I do believe Luis Rodriguez, I believe, was our first pick before. And I think that is going to stay the same. He is. We're kind of going BPA here. Tommy Dugan, that second baseman that I looked at, has gone already. But we will take Luis Rodriguez. Give us another pitching prospect, which we don't have a lot of. When is our next pick? 89. Not projected real high, but it'll work out in the end. Especially since Alfredo Ramo. I know these were our top 3 picks coming out of the draft. So that worked out. I don't remember any of these guys being here before. I think I might have taken him. We'll draft Maury Lynn. Because again, we don't really have a real big pool of. We'll draft William Hunt. We don't have a great prospect pool when it comes to pitchers. And pitchers are one of those things that it's never a bad idea to take. Okay, maybe the Dodgers don't need to take a pitcher, but I like the cut of this guy's jib. Walks per 9 has the potential to be really good. So we'll take him. Don't think I took him before. But it's the end of the draft. We take all pitchers other than one guy. Which again I'm okay with. I tried to match the picks as much as I could. Not that it matters because y'all didn't see any of them. And I don't even remember. There may have been a guy that was a better selection than Rodriguez, but I do remember that he was pretty good. So I do apologize because it was better. Okay, and we did get all of our draft picks signed before. Luis Rodriguez has got high motivation to sign with us, and actually most of these guys do have a pretty high motivation. We should be able to we'll be able to sign everybody right off rip other than Brandon Russell, but so Rodriguez signs immediately. Alfredo Ramo. Declined the offer. William Ha. Declined the offer. Maury Lynn. Declined the offer. No, that's lame. We'll get them all the next go round. Which is right now. That was what was suggested, sir. So okay, so William Haas signs. Moreland does not, and we'll get Dan Cora hopefully locked up here. Nope. Keep going forward. Seiya Suzuki was on the trade deadline was on the trade block for us. I don't think he ever got traded, but again, doesn't really matter. Now, before we go into the trade deadline, let's look at everybody that got traded because I know there were some guys on there that it was kind of crazy. Nope, that's not what I want either. Transactions completed. Okay, so Luis Garcia went to the Mets. Astros got Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. Guardians got Jonathan India from the Royals. Okay, he did get traded in the one before, but it was not to the Guardians. Which that will also impact a trade that I made, and we will not make it. Yankees got Amed Rosario. He also got traded, but to the he actually went to the Guardians. Seth Brown goes. The Cardinals got Lucas Urseg. Cardinals get Michael A. Taylor for Takoa Roby. That is not a good trade. Marlins traded away Max Meyer, who was their top pitching prospect. Guardians get Nathaniel Lowe. Cardinals get Cal Quantrill. Yankees get Josh Bell. So I don't know who's playing first base for the. I don't really know who's playing first base for the Nationals right now. Apparently nobody. Andrew Haney goes to the Brewers. Aaron Savali goes to the Royals. Brewers making a lot of trades here. Mariners get Ramon Laureano for J.P. Crawford. Then get Miguel Andujar. Mariners get Ryan McMahon for Victor Robles. Okay, so basically I think up to this point here was where all the trades had happened that were the same. Because I do remember the Tyro Estrada trade, the Ryan McMahon trade. Oh yeah, Chase Dollander got traded for Jackson Holiday. That's kind of crazy. So basically the way I went about it was I was looking to trade Lucas Giolito. First, to get some salary cap relief, and two, he's kind of an odd man out in the rotation a little bit. He's 30 years old, so he's further along in his age range than anybody else is. I elected to keep Walker Buehler just because he's only on a 1-year deal, so we won't have to pay him as much. I had some guys that got offered, and I did end up making a trade that I liked and I thought was fair for both parties. But again, I'm not making it now. Jose Caballero is kind of interesting. Now Manzardo is kind of interesting. Which again, that makes sense because they got Nathaniel Lowe, I think it was. Jake Rogers, Matt Vierling. Land's looking to move some people. Astros offering Brian Abreu and Brendan Rodgers. Jorge Soler from the Angels. Tyler Soderstrom. Colt Emerson, who's one of their top prospects. Just at a position that we don't need a player at. Marlins don't have anything to trade now. Huck is a guy that, yeah, he was a starter for the Marlins for a while. Actually, I don't guess he ever started. Just started 4 games, but he hadn't been great for the Diamondbacks. I could see them wanting a pitching upgrade. The Rockies trying to trade Adele Amador. Um, I don't know that the Rockies made a. They didn't do anything at second base, did they? They traded away Tyro Estrada, so they kind of don't have a second baseman. So nothing coming up there. So I'll say it now. The trade that I made, I ended up trading Lucas Giolito and some other stuff to the Cardinals for Ryan Helsley and Nolan Gorman, because in that trade Jonathan India had gone to the Cardinals, so they were in a. We'll go look at the Cardinals roster. I went too far. So they were in a different place with their second base position. Nolan Gorman has been having kind of a bad year. It hadn't really changed much on this. He wasn't having a great year, so they got Jonathan India, and so Nolan Gorman then kind of flew by the wayside. So I made a trade for him and a trade for Ryan Helsley, who's one of the best closers in baseball, but he's been on the trade block by the Cardinals for a while. He's only ever played in St. Louis, which is kind of cool, I guess. He had 49 saves last year. Would give us a big upgrade at closer, which we need. So that's kind of where we're at. But I'm not going to do that now because they need a second baseman still, and I don't have one to offer them. Now, a trade for Nolan Arenado is kind of interesting. That's a lot of money, and that really limits what we can do in the offseason. And I'd rather try and get a younger player, especially when his stats aren't. He's still really good defensively, but his offensive numbers really aren't there anymore. So I got Michael A. Taylor. They did need a center fielder. Jordan Walker is a guy that, like, he's not a terrible option to sign. His fielding is so bad, you pretty much have to DH him. And that's not really what I'm looking for right now. So going over some guys, let's look at some. What we need to do is we need to look at the standings and find some competing teams that could use pitching help. I'd really rather not look in our division. Like, the Guardians are kind of an interesting. Guardians, Mets, maybe. Brewers. Okay, let's go over to the Guardians. Oh, we were on the Guardians. Okay, so their starting pitching situation. Lucas Giolito won't help him. Okay. He's not helpful. Cody Bradford has developed very well for the Rangers this season. And Nathan Eovaldi's getting old and hasn't been very good. Of course, Jacob deGrom hasn't been either. Cody Bradford's 11-4 though. But yeah, they don't need him. They don't. I mean, the Marlins. I guess we could swap him for one of their pitchers, but and the Mets are pretty much good. They're good. They're good. They're pretty much good. 3, 4, 5. I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible option for the Pirates. See, this was the other thing too, is they could have actually used Giolito. They need pitchers. Things the Dodgers do not need pitchers. Look at this. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, all with A potential. Of course, Clayton Kershaw's 36. Actually, really, that's the only one. Tyler Glasnow's still a really good pitcher. Blake Snell's still a really good pitcher. Tyler Glasnow is 12-3 with a 1.69 ERA. Ohtani shouldn't even really be pitching, in my opinion. He should just be DHing. He was a lot better when he was doing just that. A lot better offensively. This should be a down year for Blake Snell. No, actually, I guess last year was his down year. Cy Young that year, down year. So yeah, okay, good year. Yamamoto has been good. It's no wonder the Dodgers are as good as they are. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 pitchers that have at least 10 wins. Plus, they've got Tanner Scott, who's a former closer, which is not closing now. Actually, no, he is. He has 20. Yeah, okay. Of course, why is Brusdar Graterol not in the majors right now? He hasn't been all season. He's an 80 overall. What are y'all doing? So there's really not a place for Lucas Giolito, I don't guess. I guess, I mean, we can look at any team that needs starting pitching help. He just doesn't make sense for most teams. Because he's old and he's on a 1-year deal. Again, we could trade with the Yankees, I guess, but the Diamondbacks do want starting pitching. Why are y'all looking for a closer? You have one. I don't know why they're looking for a first baseman either. They have Freddie Freeman. Evan Carter being on the trade block is crazy. Padres are looking for starting pitching. We've already made a trade with them, though, to give them a pitcher. So what I'm going to do is I will put Giolito on the trade block. Look for all those positions, and then also shortstop. And we'll see what happens. He needs a double to hit for the cycle? All right, let's try it. See what happens. So we really have been a good team this year. I'm not surprised because the Red Sox are projected to be very good. I was hoping maybe we'd have a few more struggles year one, just so that it was more of a rebuild.
JD Martinez, a chance at history here. Needs just a double to complete the cycle. And that one fouled off. Romano,
I'm swinging because there's no reason not to.
He features a slider, a
the walk is boring, and
he works in a two-seamer. Kicks and deals. This one chopped up the middle.
Damn, just early on that.
Sends it to first, and Martinez is out.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It's all
We do get the win. 8-4. Martinez is the player of the game. Tanner Hogg gets another win.
The mound doesn't look straight. The
By giving up 4 earned runs, he managed to hold out long enough for the win.
In fact, they looked like
So
they
that's
were playing
good.
a home game. Excellent.
I may honestly just end up taking, because I would like to get his salary off the board because I don't think we need it. And so I may end up just taking an offer. Okay. Ramos signs. Lynn declines. Cora declines. That's not great. We do get the series win against Philadelphia. We are still 9 games back of the Yankees. This is getting ridiculous. Okay, so we get Dan Cora, so that means the next one we can use all of our remaining bonus budget to sign. Lucas Giolito for Nick Lofton. What is Nick Lofton looking like? See potential, but he is getting better. Been up in the majors all year. 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. Cheap player. I just don't really think that's anything we need. Now, if the Royals are interested in him now, I don't really know if they've got anything I need. I don't know why they want him. They've got pitching. So, yeah, we'll decline that, I guess. There you go. My guy, I cannot offer you any more. We have till August 1st to sign our players. End up losing to the Dodgers. He's at 76% motivation to sign. I cannot offer him any more money. And he decides to sign with us. Thank you. Okay. Oh, shoot. I forgot that we had Brandon Russell still. We'll keep him active. Guardians are up. So the Guardians were a team that I kind of looked at as somebody that might take a stab at him. Vin Lively's 33. What am I going to do with him? Kyle Manzardo I definitely take. Or either of these. You know what? Let's go back. Let's start negotiating with the we'll start negotiating with the Guardians. They want him, so I just don't want a 33-year-old pitcher. Okay, so Travis Bazana is not. They would trade Gabriel Arias. Or Arias. It's probably Arias. Brian Rocchio. That we could probably swing with a little bit of help. Oh, yeah. Trevor Story. What did we get from them? I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, Paul Sewald. That's who. Jason Chourio is an interesting player. So we could get Jason Chourio for just this. We could get Gabriel Arias. Travis Bazzana, no. We could get Kyle Manzardo. So out of those guys, the biggest need we have would be, I mean, besides just having players. So that they would almost swing. But again, I don't really need a... That they would do... We'll leave that. I don't actually know if we've got any money to sign this guy. I kind of forgot that he was here. Oh, cool. Well, we used every bit of it, but that's all of our players signed. All of our drafted players signed. We'll keep working on so we're closing in on the deadline to be able to see our players. Stros are looking for pitching. Orioles are also looking for pitching. Rays are interested. Drew Rasmussen for Lucas Giolito. We may come back to that trade. We'll see what other people offer us, and if we don't get anything better, as Ryan Walker, the closer for the Giants, goes to the Reds for Chase Petty, a B overall starter, and Shang In Lin, a third base prospect. So there's a pretty big trade. Okay, today is the trade deadline, so we've got to trade him today. Let's go to the Astros. They might be desperate enough to offer us something stupid for a guy like Giolito if they think it'll help them win. To Giolito again. I don't really know why. Dylan Lesko, is he with the Rays before? I don't know. I think he was with the. Let's just. Also, kind of like to move JD Martinez if somebody would take him. That's a pretty big chunk of salary that we're shipping out. So it would really have to be a contending team that can take on, 38 million in salary cap space. 28 million in salary in salary, which isn't going to be a lot of them. So we'll see how this goes. Tyler Wells, Ramon Urias, Livan Soto, and Sir Anthony Dominguez. Max Fried. Okay. Garrett Cole. Those are some guys. I don't understand the logic there. Noah Schultz. Yeah, not doing that. Not doing that either. Again, if I just didn't care about realism in the slightest, then sure. Take them off their hands. But there is no universe where the Yankees would make that trade with the Red Sox. Reed Detmers is kind of an interesting player. So he's 25. Really came up to the majors a little too early. Hadn't been great this year. Could be a nice little reclamation project. And he's young. Jose Soriano hasn't been very good this year either. And he's actively getting worse. So those are definitely options. He's got some stuff though. His attributes there, 99 velocity and 99 break are definitely solid numbers. Walks per nine is not great for this game. Soriano and Reed Detmers are both interesting options. So we'll come back to that. Osvaldo Bido, don't think they'd make those trades. Mostly because it's a lot of salary for them to take on. It's the Marlins' top prospect. The Cardinals are interested in him. Not trading with the Dodgers. Giants don't want Justin Verlander's old ass. I don't know why they wanted him. What is the reason for this? He hasn't even been bad. Making $36 million over the next 3 years. Max Fried, they literally just signed. I don't understand that. It's okay. You got Jose Soriano at 26. Reed Detmers at 25. He's a lefty. Soriano's a righty. Detmers has had. He's also got outlier. He's been better in the past. This is not a. So, I think this trade makes some sense for the Angels to do. It's a potential, a guy that we might can develop. So we are going to get Reed Detmers from the Angels. Part of me wants to send him down to the minors. But we will. I can actually bring a player up now with that move. So, we got rid of 2 people. Vaughn Grissom's another person I'm kind of interested in trading. Just because I got better guys there. Back. Sorry, I had took a little break there in the recording. Yeah, we were making our way through here. We just had the draft, trying to get to that point, and we just made a trade to land Reed Detmers from the Angels, sending over Lucas Giolito and JD Martinez. I do think the bullpen is the best spot for him right now. I wouldn't mind landing another closer because Aroldis Chapman is not great right now. He's losing overall really badly. In fact, I may make what is pitching clutch for Slayton. I may make Slayton our closer. It's either going to be Slayton or Seawald, and I think it'll be Slayton just based off of overall. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this being the rotation right now. Detmers needs some. I think we're still a man short on the roster, so I could actually bring up another pitcher or another reliever if I wanted to. Kind of thinking about bringing up Garrett Whitlock. What has he done in AAA? He's been pretty good. He hasn't started any games yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do, is move Garrett Whitlock up to the majors. And then kick Walker Buehler into the bullpen and let Whitlock start. We'll see how that goes. And then I may end up even moving Detmers down. So the trade deadline is here. We're not doing contract extensions right now just because we've got a lot of guys that have still got arbitration, or we can just renew their contracts, so I'm not that worried about it. And Ethan Sell, that's crazy. He got injured in the simulation before too, so that's wild. We didn't see too many major trades, so let's look here and just see what happened. That was the last trade. Vinny Pasquantino got traded to the Mariners. We saw the Griffin Conine trade. Rays got a catcher from the Giants. Edward Cabrera was acquired from the Marlins for Luis Angel Acuna. Not a bad trade for the Marlins. Honestly, that gives Luis Angel Acuna's got some decent potential, and they're kind of just getting rid of everybody that is any good. So Garrett Crochet start here. Let's see how he does. Let that auto fix. Okay, so yeah, they're saying that we have too many pitchers on our staff. So I actually think I will move. I'm going to send Detmers down. Okay, to move Detmers down. We still have an open spot. So who do I want to bring up? Is the question. I could bring Christian Campbell up, but I just don't think it's worth it right now. Marcelo Mayer's hurt. Could, I guess, call up. Let's look at the free agents. Anybody that got waived that's interesting? Didn't really think so. Not a lot of guys here. Jose Iglesias is a kind of interesting name, but Nick Senzel is a pretty decent lefty killer. Alex Verdugo. He's getting worse sitting here on the. Duvall's got pretty good power. Celio Garcia. I think I will bring in Nick Senzel. He'll sign for 1 year. Okay, good. Well, you're not getting a longer contract. There you go. Okay. positions he can play. He's got a lot of positional flexibility, so we'll just leave him here. That'll work. So yeah, this is the Garrett Crochet start, and he gets the win. And a shutout. Well, I don't know if he pitched a shutout, an official shutout or not, but he didn't give up any runs. So he went 5 2/3. 8 strikeouts. ERA under 2 with 15 wins. He's continuing on that. Continuing on a Cy Young caliber pace. So that's good. All right. Now is the moment of truth viewing our draft picks. Luis Rodriguez, 70 overall with 89 potential. That's pretty good. I will take that. He should be in our rotation pretty, sooner rather than later. Dan Cora is a 48 overall with 93 potential. I probably should have waited to pick him, but we got guys that guys I was pretty happy with. A 53 overall with 89 potential for Alfredo Ramo. Maury Lynn, 53 overall with 88 potential. 52 overall with 89 potential for William Haw. And then Brandon Russell, who's the last guy we picked, is a 59 overall with 77 potential. So it's mostly just guys to, fill out the rosters. These are all guys with high B potential that could turn into an A given the right circumstances. So I'm okay with that. I think that it was a pretty solid draft. This wasn't an amazing draft class by any means. I don't think there weren't any generational type players in here. Really not that many people with A potential even. Timmy Kohler would have been a nice pick overall wise, but potential wise is not really there. Rob Velasquez is not bad. Just got Doug Garcia's not bad. Potential's a little low, but that's nice overall. Tommy Dugan ended up being a 67 overall with 93 potential. The power wasn't really there, but he does have good contact versus lefties. That's already pretty much developed to be at a major league level, so that's nice. But we didn't end up taking him, so that's okay. Jim Goldie, not bad. Mark Harris, who we had projected as the number 1 player in the draft, actual potential was 89 of the 71 overall, so just a hair under the guy we took. His contact is good enough for him to be in the majors right now. Power basically non-existent. Fielding is okay. So not a bad player. Dan Hurd, starting pitcher, is A potential. The Dodgers managed to add another A potential guy to their farm system. The Giants had a terrible draft. The Orioles had a lot of picks and didn't sign 4 of them. So it's not great. I think overall we had the best draft. I mean, these are all guys with really good potential. Cora in the second round is a bit of a reach, but he really needs some help with his bat. He needs help everywhere. But he's a 48 overall, so it's to be expected. And it's not like we're hurting at catcher. Got Connor Wong, and then obviously we still have we traded for Ethan Salas. So one of those two will probably be will be our catcher of the future. Standing wise, we currently sit 6.5 games back of the Yankees. Everybody in our division is over 500 at this point in the year. We've played 111 games, so about 50 left. Tigers 63 and 48. Astros 62 and 48. We are in first in the wild card by 3.5 games. So right now we are a playoff team. We're 7-3 in our last 10. Have not been very good in our division. We've been good at home and good at night. So yeah, that's where we're looking there. What am I looking at time-wise in this video? Okay, it's been 55 minutes. So we are going to wrap up the episode right here, and I think the next one we will probably get through the get through the rest of the regular season. If we do make the playoffs, we will be playing some of the playoff games. But I would like to get through this first season now. It's kind of lasted a little bit longer than I would have liked. So, yeah, this episode will it'll be this episode, and then the next one that'll be all for the regular season. And then if we make the playoffs, I will play it. If not, then I don't. We have to have a pretty drastic drop off to not make the playoffs. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope y'all let me know how you think we did in the draft. I personally think overall wise, just at the sheer volume of talent across everything, I think we had a great draft. It'll be able to supplement our farm system really well. I know it wasn't. I know it was mostly just pitchers, but at the end I was kind of picking blinds. So I just went off of guys that I thought would be good. So that's what we went with. I actually think that class went better than the first one. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Friar Chuck saying bye-bye.